Is best ball now, and we're jumping right into this draft. We've got the third pick overall, so I can basically count that Gibbs and Robinson are probably going to be gone. They usually go the first couple picks. I know I keep saying that, but I keep seeing it, so that's what's happening. If one of those guys is there, I'll take him in the third hole just because that'll give me a little bit of a unique team. But we'll see what happens. You know, we got to let the draft come to us. Starting up right now. Let's see. Let's see if we have any friends in here. We got, I don't know, never seen that person. Tony Chrome. Don't know. Doesn't look like we have any friends in here. That's good. That's good. No one knows what to expect from me. That's exactly how I like it. But you know what? I kind of still know what to expect from them. And, you know, we're going to go through this draft. It's still before, you know, the schedules haven't come out, so we won't be doing any playoff matchups for week 15, 16, and 17. But there's other things that we can do to optimize our lineup right now, and that is what we are going to try to address. Now, in this specific draft, depending on how it plays out, I think, you know, I'm going to react to the rest of the draft and adjust accordingly. But right now, even though we started out running back, still we have a few of the top running backs available, and they usually go, oh, crap. Yeah, okay, I got him. All right. I got my guy. I thought I was about to lose the time. But here's the thing. Christian McCaffrey usually goes a little bit later towards the end of the first round. And right now, if you want to take him earlier in the first round, you know, it's probably justifiable. He did have an incredible amount of fantasy points last year, even though a lot of people were down on him, and I kind of expect the same thing to happen again. But here's the thing. I'm going to get a little bit of a unique team because most people who are drafting McCaffrey are drafting him out of the 6, 7, 8, or 9 hole. I mean, sure, you do have some people reaching for him up here, but it's way less common. So that's going to get us a little bit more unique. And also, like I started to say before I almost got auto-picked and saved it just in time, was that we're going to react to the other drafters in this draft. And you know, if there's a lot of running back heavy teams early, I may switch the strategy up. But right now, my preliminary first thought is that I'm going to stack up running backs real strong early. I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith in some late round wide receivers as compared to the faith I have in the late round running backs. There are a few running backs that I like late, but right now, for this draft, I'm planning on taking my last running back. I'm gonna take almost all my running backs early, I think, unless I have to react to the other drafters and change my strategy on the fly. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start running back heavy, but I'm gonna take 3 or 4 running backs real early, and then I'm gonna take 2 mid-round guys, or 1, depending on how many I take early. But this 14th round, I want to have, because I'm gonna go early, I'm gonna make this a 5 running back team. And I want to take my 5th running back right here at pick 166 in the 14th round. We'll see if it works like that, but that's at least my plan as it stands right now. Now, so far, we had more running backs than wide receivers go in the first round. That's fine. A lot of these guys are going to balance their teams out. And a lot of the guys who took running backs already are going to take a wide receiver or maybe an elite tight end or Josh Allen with their next pick. I fully expect by the 3rd or 4th round to be stacked up with running backs a little bit more than others. And this isn't always my strategy. This is my strategy for this specific draft. I'm going to be doing many things. And like I said, I'm always reacting to the other drafters. So if we have a crazy run on a position and I realize the main thing that you want is you have guys in the late rounds that you identified as the guys who are going to win you best ball, right? I have a lot of them identified. I'm not sure exactly who it's going to be, but I feel good about a lot of guys. And what I don't want to happen is I don't want to build my team in a similar way to the majority of drafters in this draft, because if I do that, then once it's time for the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th round and on, you know, these other teams are going to be targeting some of the same players as I am. But if I'm building my team opposite to a lot of the other teams, then they're going to be reaching for guys in positions that I already have covered later, and they're going to leave my guys just sitting there waiting for me. Not to mention, I already know that I have a better understanding of the rookies than almost everyone that I draft with in every draft. Occasionally, there'll be 1 or 2 other sharp drafters, and I can tell they know they're rookies. But okay, so now we are on the clock, pick 22. Uh, we could go McBride. He usually doesn't fall this low. I could go Neighbors as well. I could take Josh Allen. I think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna take Derrick Henry. I believe to stick with my. I'm tempted to take McBride or Neighbors, but at least for now, I'm still gonna stick with my plan. McCaffrey and Henry, super strong running back start, and we'll see what happens. I might triple up. We'll see who's still there at pick 27. I'll tell you what. If Neighbors or McBride are still there at 27, strategy aside, I'm just taking them. The value is too great, and that will just be a smash team too. That is going to be a rare combination. McCaffrey, Henry, Neighbors, or McCaffrey, Henry, McBride, or maybe even McCaffrey, Henry, Bowers. I think I like McCaffrey, Henry, Bowers even more than I like McCaffrey, Henry, McBride. I know McBride had an excellent year last year, but now that Bowers has got Fernando Mendoza in over there in Las Vegas, I expect him to return to his number one tight end level of play. It's going to be a good year for him. Now, if Mendoza doesn't play for the whole year, that could hurt a little bit, but Cousins can still get him the ball. But I think Fernando Mendoza is going to play the majority of the time, and he is going to really get him that ball. So who has fallen to us? Bowers, and Bowers goes right before me, so that makes it a little bit of an easier choice here. Now, I'm going to triple up on running backs. I'm tripling up. And I could go Love, but I'm not going to because of a suspect offensive line. Same thing with Josh Jacobs. But here's the thing. Kyron Williams is running behind the very best line in the NFL. Easy choice. Now I am stacked. I am stacked right up at running back. I am behind at every other position, but that's okay. It's more than okay. I already know that I have a lot of guys identified later that I could snatch up. I can still get a few, maybe not elite level wide receivers, but consistent, high performing wide receivers who are going to come through for me on a regular basis. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hope that I can hit on a couple of my favorite rookie wide receivers later who are going to have spike weeks. They're going to have spike weeks, and a lot of other people in these drafts are not even projecting anything from these guys. They don't know them if their name isn't, Tate or Tyson or Lemon or Concepcion. You know what I mean? Those are the only wide receivers that most of your draft mates seem to know about. A couple of them might know about one or two other guys if they're on their own personal team, but I scouted them hard. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I'm taking you down. It's time. Let's get it. Let's get this. Let's get this draft. We're winning big money in this one, baby. All right. No one has done it, and at least, well, I guess I should look things over a little bit more before I make any statements. But normally by this time in the draft, there's a couple egregious mistakes that people are making. I don't see that, at least not yet to this point. I think our guy, RJB, I think his team is a little weak. I think that he might be drafting based on name alone. I mean, obviously Chase has been great for a while, and he's probably going to be good again. Hampton and Love, both really talented players. Both of them are not getting any help at all from their offensive line, and they are not going to. I mean, I'm sure they'll produce decent, but I'm also sure that there are many running backs getting drafted after both of those guys who might not have as big a name as them, who are just going to produce more because they have better offensive line, have better talent around them, and it's just going to be better for a lot of other running backs, specifically the three that I already took. I expect all three of those running backs to outperform Hampton and Love. And I say that with confidence. I mean, is it possible? Is it possible that Hampton or Love are top 5 running backs? Sure, it's possible. It's very possible. They're both very extremely talented players who could overcome any kind of adversity that the league wants to throw their way. But, they're just not in the greatest position. The chances of that happening are much lower than the chances of a lot of other guys. Okay, so now we're stacked up at running back. I may even consider taking another one within a few rounds, but I'm definitely not going to quadruple up on running backs. I have to start getting some wide receiver depth, or I'm going to be way behind. So let's see who we have here. I don't love Garrett Wilson. Just the situation on the Jets is not optimal. We all know that. They have a lot of weapons now, but they still have Geno Smith. They still have a suspect O-line. DJ Moore, I'm not really sure what his role is going to be on the Bills, but if Josh Allen likes him, if him and Josh Allen become buddies, I mean, he could be a total smash. I'm not sure if he's going to be there for me at 46, but if he is, I may just have to grab me some DJ Moore. Who else do we got here? Could go Devontae Adams. I'm a little bit scared of regression this year. I don't know if I should be. He still had a good year last year, but he's getting up there in age. And, 15 points a game. I mean, he had good production, but not quite as much as we were hoping for. Okay. So DJ Moore sitting there. I'm just going to snatch him up and hope that he has a decent amount of games where he has spike weeks. I mean, Josh Allen is more than capable of delivering him the ball. And it basically comes down to how much Josh Allen likes him. If Josh Allen likes him, he's going to get passes, he's going to get touchdowns, he's going to get yards, he's going to have spike weeks. It's going to be great. But who knows? Who knows? Josh Allen is a unique fella. It's hard to get into his head, that's for sure. 51 is going to be coming up right around the corner. So I should be a little bit prepared so I don't get caught off guard here. Probably still looking at wide receiver. Let's just check to see if there's any extreme value somewhere else. Colston Loveland, usually it is already, my pick would be 10 picks past his ADP. I don't love him enough. I'm still not taking him. He needs to fall just a little bit further than that for me. Even though I do love Chicago and their weapons, I like some of their other weapons a little bit more than Loveland. And, and I like Tyler Warren, whose ADP is 61, way more than Loveland. So, and maybe Kraft as well. Not Fannin, not Laporta, But, moving right along, we still have Burden here. There's a weapon from Chicago that I like a lot more. Speaking of weapons from Chicago, I like more. Mike Evans, Big Mike. Big Mike could be in for a real good year in San Francisco. Terry McLaurin, is on the the Commanders, who I expect to struggle, but he's like the only weapon that Jaden Daniels has. So he could be an absolute smash. I'm kind of expecting Luther Burden to take a step up. It's hard. Do I like Burden? I like Burden. I like Evans. I like McLaurin. I like Adunze too. But you know what? In this, I think I just have to take Mike Evans. I already have CMC on this team, so maybe we'll look to stack those guys up with Purdy a little bit later. And that was the tiebreaker right there. I really liked all those wide receivers I was talking about right here at 51. But considering I already have a big time weapon from San Francisco and Christian McCaffrey, and one that does catch passes quite often, who is a good stacking partner with Brock Purdy, I think I'll take Brock Purdy's other big time weapon, or one of them. He's got a few. And then we can work on starting a San Francisco stack. And then I'll try to figure out if, I usually like to stack up at least two of my quarterbacks with a couple of their weapons and a minimum of one of their weapons. Scatterbo going 54th. That was a little bit late for him. Great pick there, Killa 187. Even though you had a horrible pick the round before by reaching, you had the go gadget arms ready to reach for CJ Stroud as the second overall quarterback. That was just crazy. And Kelsey was a bad pick in the third round too. Oh yeah. Here's one of our bad drafters right here. We'll just, even though they got great value on Scatterbo at pick 54. I believe his ADP is in the 40s, and I do expect him to produce a lot. He's going to get those goal line touches, those third and short touches, and he's going to get a lot of receptions too. He's a guy that I like to get on a lot of my teams. But this guy just might as well just switch to auto draft and start doing another team, because this is over. This is over for Killa at 187 with his red rum. He's got Killa 187 red rum. Man, maybe this isn't the guy to talk smack about. He might be coming. Yeah, right. Okay, he's probably 12. All right. Anyways, there goes Hurts and Jackson to the same team. Yeah, it's questionable, but they could still pull that out and make a decent team there for D-Train. I like Heisenberg's team a lot so far, starting with Cook and Walker, snatching up Igbukah and Smith and Monty. Yeah, Monty's probably is not the greatest pick, but he's already got Cook and Walker, so he's a solid third running back, I suppose. And Tyler Warren is a smash. Heisenberg might be my biggest competition in this draft, but you know what? Let's just see how your knowledge is late in the draft there, buddy. Let's just see what you know about those rookies. We might be neck and neck at this point. It's easy to be neck and neck through the first 5 or 6 rounds. See if you're still neck and neck by the time we get to the 17th round, dog. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if you're still neck and neck at the end of the 20th round. Let's see who you're taking deep. Let's see if you know your depth. Let's see if you know your rookies. You might. Okay, Killa 187, Red Rum, murder spelled backwards. Am I even allowed to say that? I mean, I'm just commenting on this guy's name. Come on. This guy's got some decent wide receivers here. Scoot Route 1 has a solid team too. Rico Dowdle, questionable. Caleb Williams, great pick, especially considering he's already got Burden on his team. I'm coming up. See what kind of value we got here. Excuse me. 70. So we have some guys in this draft who are even letting the bigger name rookies slide. That tells me that either they have other rookies they like later on, or they just are scared to take rookies at all. I'm not sure. I think Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson both project pretty well, but I think Alec Pierce outdoes both of them this year in Indianapolis with his big new contract, with Daniel Jones slinging the ball over there like a boss. I'll tell you what. Whew, Alec Pierce. Did I say his name? I feel like I said his name wrong a second ago. It's Alec Pierce, but man, Alec Pierce is legit. Dude gets it done. Great hands. Great body control. Dan Jones loves the guy. Freaking Pittman left. Things are looking real good for Alec Pierce, let me tell you. Okay, I'm coming back on the clock already, and getting towards the 7th round. And I can wait a little bit on quarterback still. Do I want to take another running back and really shore it up? Because, let's just grab Tucker Kraft and hope he can give me a decent floor in my tight end position. I'll take a couple more guys. I'll grab at least 3 tight ends in this draft because I didn't take one. I didn't take an elite tight end necessarily, although Tucker Kraft could be considered a low-level elite tight end. He's not. He's definitely not in the same class as McBride and Bowers or Warren. Kelsey and Loveland were both, they're both also low-level elite tight ends. I got much better value on Kraft than they got on these guys. Kelsey was just taken way ahead of ADP. This might be someone who's not exactly following current events when it comes to the NFL. I mean, I still like Kelsey. He could have a decent year, but the guy's slowing down. The signs are there. It's obvious. And while he's still going to be money in the red zone, he's still going to get some touchdowns, and he might have a couple of spike weeks. He's just not worth taking in the 3rd round. That's crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, he got taken before George Pickens, before Nico Collins, before Igbuka. I mean, come on. That's just crazy. All right. Trevor Lawrence goes 79. Interesting. He's got Parker Washington. Okay, so he's stacking a little bit. He could have waited another round. Got better value. But, yay. Whatever. Scoot, Route 1. Wants T-Law on his team. Got it. Even though he was probably hoping that Brian Thomas Jr. would fall to him in the next round. He could have got them both if he took Brian Thomas Jr. here and then tried to get Lawrence in the next round. But he doesn't have his strategy locked in. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have worked, but he had a much better chance of it working in that particular order. Okay, there goes Dak. There goes DK. There goes Mekhi Lemon. All right. So this guy with Hurts is stacking Lemon, and he also has Barkley and Brown. But Brown's, I don't know if he realizes that Brown's almost definitely not going to be on the Eagles this year. He should have been stacking him up with Drake May instead. I guess it's not a done deal yet, but it seems like, it certainly sounds like that's going down. That's going to happen. I'm much more likely to draft A.J. Brown with a Patriot stack than I am with an Eagle stack. Or maybe if you're going to have Hurts and May on the same team, then you could just be a little bit more safe and have that stack locked down either way. Okay, 94 is going to be my next pick. And I still have no quarterbacks. I got 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. My running backs are stronger. I've got 1 tight end. Now, looking here. I do not want. I can get Brock Purdy around the corner. I believe I should be able to get Brock Purdy with my 9th round pick. As long as if someone reaches for him, then whatever, they can have him. I'll figure it out. But I was considering maybe I should take Brock Purdy so no one snipes me. But considering there's only going to be 4 picks after this pick before my next pick, I think I'm safe, and I think I can lean in another direction. Let's just see if there's anyone I love close to the top in ADP right now. Some good value players. Maybe not necessarily. You know what maybe I might want to do? I might want to grab another quarterback who I would be confident to get me through some of these weeks. There's no one really worth taking ahead of Brock Purdy, though. I don't have any Chiefs. All right, let's grab another running back. No. Yeah, let's hurry up and grab another guy. There we go. Wasn't anyone I loved at ADP, but I do expect Brock Purdy to fall to me here at 99. So I just want to further secure up the strength in my running back room, make sure that I'm ahead of almost everyone there, because I feel pretty good about catching up wide receiver wise, especially with these 3 veterans that I already have on this team. Moore and Evans and Pierce, they should be pretty solid, barring injury, for the entire year. Not saying they're all going to have spike weeks every week, but it is a solid start, especially because I'm expecting a lot of spike weeks from the rookies who I'm going to take a little bit later in this draft. And I'm still going to, maybe in these next couple rounds, I'm going to focus more on quarterback and tight end. And I'm really going to leave myself a little bit thin at wide receiver on purpose. Now I'm doing this on purpose. You can try to build a super balanced team if you want to. In my opinion, that's not the best way to win big in best ball. You got to take some chances. You got to take some risks. You got to have some low exposure guys. You have to have some unique builds. You have to identify the right players later on in the draft that are going to cover your bye weeks. They're going to cover when your starters are slumping. Even if you have an absolute stud on your team, Christian McCaffrey has all the potential in the world to go out there and score 5 to 7 points a particular week. Maybe he's not feeling great. Maybe he's a little bit sick. Maybe he's a little sore. Maybe the game plan just involves a little bit more throwing that week. And luckily for me, Christian McCaffrey's part of the passing game as well. So it's not quite so often that he's just not used, but it's possible. So even in a week when your stars score under 10 points, you want to have guys later on back here. You want to have exposure to the right guys who are hopefully going to come through at just the right time to push you over the hump, advance you into the playoffs, advance you once you're in the playoffs. You're not only trying to get to week 15, but then because if you just make it to week 15, you get eliminated. You barely make anything. You barely make anything at all. You make it to week 16. Maybe you make a little bit more than your buy-in back, but you're really trying to make it to week 17, and you're just not making it to week 17 with the super balanced team. You have to take the chances, because if you don't take the chances, other people are going to take those chances, and it's not going to be someone who's playing it super safe the whole time. We know that we have to do a ton of drafts. You're not just going to do one draft and win $3 million on DraftKings. I mean, I guess it's theoretically possible, but it's almost impossible if we consider probabilities. If you consider that there are tons of other people with 150 entries into the millionaire contest, and these guys are doing all kinds of different, some of them are boneheads, some of them are building really similar teams every single time, but a lot of other people are taking chances, they're taking flyers, and there's a lot of different scenarios where they can win. And if you paint yourself into a corner where there's only the safe route for you to win, it's just not going to work out for you, let me tell you. Okay, so now, do we grab a Pearsall to further go with that San Francisco stack? Or, no, like I said, we're going to stay right away from wide receivers a little bit longer. We're going to snatch up Kincaid. Even though someone else has Allen, that's fine. I still have, who did I take? I took DJ Moore. That's right. I knew I had at least another Buffalo weapon. And Josh Allen likes to switch up his weapons. It seems like a different guy is scoring 3 touchdowns every week. So it's nice to have a couple Bills on your team. You might get those real nice weeks at any given time. Ricky Pearsall is still here. I don't love Pearsall, even though he fits with my stack. I don't think that I want to grab him. So let's look. Let's see if there's any other quarterbacks that I really. Oh man, it's getting thin. It's getting thin. I think I can. I'm gonna reach for Daniel Jones right now. Yeah, pair him up with Alec Pierce. I've got Alec Pierce on this team, and he could be. It's debatable whether Alec Pierce or Tyler Warren is Daniel Jones' number one option, but I don't think it's debatable that they are the top two options. So if you have one of those guys, it's probably pretty beneficial to have Daniel Jones on your team. Alec Pierce is not going to have many weeks where he catches 3 touchdowns, and all 3 of those touchdowns were not thrown by Daniel Jones. So, and I do expect Alec Pierce to have those weeks. He's going to have weeks with 2 or 3 touchdowns because he is that kind of a playmaker. And sure, I suppose there's a chance he could run one in on a jet sweep or something, or they could do some kind of halfback pass or something. But chances are it's going to be Danny Dimes throwing him those touchdowns every time. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do. All right. So, all right. Well, let's see who's doing stuff here. What's going on? Isaiah Likely went way before ADP, and so did Jackson Dart. Is this the same guy? This guy doesn't have neighbors. He must be just a Giants fan over here. I like those picks. I like Jackson Dart. I like Isaiah Likely. He just took them way too high. I mean, way above ADP. He could have had other players at better value. Tried to get them a little bit later. You can only. There are situations that call for drafting people ahead of ADP for certain strategies and whatnot. But this guy he's just throwing darts in the wind. I'm telling you right now. He's weak at running back. He took 2 quarterbacks way too early. He just messed up his value, and he's just not going to make the playoffs. Sorry, buddy. If you're watching this, I apologize. I don't mean to talk too much smack, but subscribe to the channel. Watch me do some more drafts, soak up some strategy, and I promise you will start drafting better, dog. Way better, all right? All right, so we already took a second quarterback. We'll wait a little bit on the third quarterback. Do I want to take another running back here? What do I have? 3 running backs, right? I have 3 strong ones. Oh, I have 4. Ooh, you know what? Oh, crap. I'm running out of time. All right. I'm going to take Tyrone Tracy right there. I kind of would have rather... No, that was solid. Okay. Tyrone Tracy. So the thing is, Scadaboo is a better back, right? But Scadaboo he basically ripped his foot off last year. His ankle injury was horrendous. So I don't expect him to have the full load. I think that Tracy and him are going to produce a similar amount, considering I got Tracy way later than, even though I said it was a good pick when dude took Scadaboo in the 5th round, it's a better pick for me to take Tracy in the 12th. Now we're in the 13th round on the clock. We're starting to get to the point where we can identify some rookies maybe. We're a little bit high on those guys. Maybe we could look at third quarterback already. I'm not so interested in that. Ooh, man. Okay, this is tough. I'm just going to snatch up Hunter Henry. We're going to be strong at tight end. We already took 3 tight ends. And you know what? Considering none of them are elite, I very well may take another tight end in the 20th round. I know a lot of people stop at 3 tight ends, but here's what I'm telling you. Hear me out. If you plan your team, right? You plan your team well, and you get contributions from the majority of your players, I can almost guarantee you that every best ball team, even the ones that have won millions of dollars, had at least one bad pick. And why did they have that one bad pick? They had that one bad pick because they had this thing in their head. They were like, okay, I need 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends. And, I'm not saying that those are always the teams that win, but the majority of good teams have 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends. And people are just like, all right, I already have 3 tight ends, so I'm just going to totally reach for this running back or this wide receiver who's, 4th or 5th on the depth chart, probably doesn't have a very serious looking path to play time. And this, they're just wasting picks. You're better off taking a 4th tight end in that 20th round, assuming you feel good about the rest of your team. and then just have an advantage at tight end every week. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people. Almost everyone in this draft is going to take a lot of scores under 10 in their tight end slot throughout the year. You know, even if you have an elite tight end, they're not scoring 20 points every week. And then if you have an elite tight end, you may have punted on tight end and waited until towards the end of the draft to take more tight ends, or take tight ends that don't have nearly as much of the target share, whatever the case may be. Just a lot of other people in the draft are going to have some low scoring weeks in their tight end spot. So if you can get 4 tight ends who do produce on a regular basis, and you know, there are a couple of guys that I like considering their 20th round picks. I mean, they're not the most productive guys in the world, but guys who are capable of putting up 15, 20 points in a week, at least a few times throughout the season. I mean, if you can really have that advantage in your tight end spot, and you never, ever, I mean, you never say never, I suppose, but you're certainly lowering your chances of never taking under a 10 score in your tight end spot and really keeping it above 15 every single week. And you're also increasing the chance for more spike weeks in your tight end slot. And if you have 2 tight ends that smash at the same time, maybe they did well enough to even break into your flex spot. And if they did, they outperformed your other guys. Hey, you ended up with more points. I'm for it. I'm all for it. I would rather take a 4th tight end than a 4th quarterback. I would rather take a 4th tight end than a flyer, 5th or 6th on the depth chart kind of guy at any position. So, pick 166. All right, now we need to start getting some depth here at wide receiver. We need to start taking some of these guys, some of these wide receivers that are the rest of the field does not know much about. More and more people are starting to know about Denzel Boston. I don't think it's particularly my fault. Not so many of you guys are watching my videos yet. You should be, because you're going to get all kinds of unique perspective from me. You have a much better chance of winning best ball because everyone else isn't watching my videos. You know, I mean, not saying that guys on other channels don't have good takes. Of course they do. But, you know, if they've been going for a few years and they've already got thousands and thousands of people watching their stuff all the time, every time they say something, ADP shifts. When you hear it from me, it's basically like I'm telling you personally. And I'm a very successful best ball player who's been playing basically since the beginning. I've got lots of experience, and I'm not going to put you in a bad position. Now, all right. So I'm going to reach a little bit ahead of ADP and grab Stribling because of my 49er stack, and because I just expect more from this guy than the field. He was picked 33rd overall. The 49ers want to use him, all right? That's all you really need to know. He makes really good catches. I was impressed by his tape. Boom, on the team. Welcome to the team, Deshaun or however you say it. I don't even care how you say your first name. Love it. It's one of the best names I ever heard. You're on my team, dude. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So, I got 5 running backs and 5 wide receivers. I'm obviously much more strong at running back. We're going to take a few more flyers on wide receivers that the other guys don't know about. I probably do expect a little bit more from Denzel Boston than I do from Stribling, even though Denzel Boston has a less than optimal quarterback situation. And you know what? We'll see how this plays out, but something else just flashed through my mind that I might want to share with you guys in the late rounds. I'm unsure. Maybe I'll do it in this draft. Maybe I won't. In some drafts real late, I have a new secret strategy. Oh, excuse me. I mean, it's not going to be secret for very long if I keep telling everybody. But like I said, you know, as of right now, there's not so many people watching these videos. I don't think that it's going to take very long before that changes. But, you know, whatever. We'll see how it happens. But I do have some paths. I've got some paths to big money, and I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm not going to share them all with you at the same time. All right. I'm never going to do one draft and give you the cheat codes. Not all of them, but I'm going to give you some cheat codes in every draft. So check them out and watch towards the end, because right here in the back part of the drafts that we're about to start right now, that's where you're going to get the most value out of these videos. Because I'm telling you right now. All right. So right here, this dude right here, RJB, made an incredible pick in the 15th round. He took Jonah Coleman. Jonah Coleman is my absolute favorite rookie running back when you consider value. I'm not saying that he's going to be better than Love, although I don't think it's impossible. But considering you can get Coleman in the 15th round, you got to take Love in the 3rd round. Coleman is way better value. I expect good things from Coleman. I expect way better things than almost everyone who is parroting the other analyst expects from him. But I actually watched his tape. That's why. All right. And I watched a lot of it. Okay. Who do we want? Who do we want? We need to make a quick decision. Let's go Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy Bernard, real solid possession receiver. You know, there's a little bit of risk, especially if Aaron Rodgers is gonna play. It looks like he is gonna play for Pittsburgh one more year. But the thing is, Aaron Rodgers historically doesn't love rookies. That's my only worry. But I do think he's going to have a little bit of a realization that this is his last year, have a little bit of a, not caring. I was going to cuss a little bit, but he doesn't give about anything anymore. And I think he's just going to get the ball to his best weapons, regardless of who they are, what they've done. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab Malachi Fields. I love me some Malachi Fields, and normally I can get him a little bit later in the draft in the 18th, 19th, or I've even gotten him in the 20th round before. But considering I see that there's at least one Giants fan who's reaching for all Giants ahead of ADP, I'm just going to take Fields here in the 17th round. Once we get to the 16th round and beyond, ADP really doesn't matter anymore. You just want guys who are going to contribute to your team. If you're drafting from the top of ADP, you're just not going to win, especially not at the end of these drafts. So I want to get Malachi Fields on my team because I feel really good about his production as a rookie. And like I said, once you get to the 16th round, there's really no such thing as reaching anymore. At this point, it's about building your own team, about filling the gaps, about ensuring that you have all your positions covered for the entire year. And that's basically all it comes down to. All right. So, I mean, as if it's that simple, right? But, you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want in your own mind. In reality, it is very, very complicated, and we all know that. But that's why you have to take different paths. There's no one path to victory in best ball. There's just not. The winners have different builds most years. Different strategies are optimal every year. Obviously, the rookies shake things up and really start to, some rookies will hit the ground running and be studs right away. A lot of these guys, especially some of these guys going in the later rounds, they might not produce a whole lot in the first quarter, first half maybe of the best ball season. But towards the end of the best ball season, these guys are really going to start coming out of nowhere, having spike weeks, and really changing the dynamic of a lot of your teams. You might have a lot of teams, if you're slick with the rookies, you might have a lot of teams in third, fourth place coming up on week 11, week 12, but then by the end of week 14, those rookies can really help you push over the top. Okay, and I should have been looking a little bit more in advance here, but let's check our quarterback situation because we are thin. We have Watson, we have Cousins, we have Penix. I expect Penix to start in Atlanta over Tua. Tua did not get a big contract. I don't have any Falcons on my team, but I do want a third quarterback. Especially before the bye weeks are known. It's pretty crucial. It's pretty easy to accidentally get stuck with a 0 if you're drafting 2 quarterback team before the schedules are out. Chances are way better than you think that they have the same bye week. All right, so we still need wide receivers, even though I have way more wide receivers than anything else. A lot of them are flyers. A lot of guys are going to be part-time contributors that are going to have spike weeks here and there, but they don't necessarily have the highest floor. So we just need more of them. That's all it comes down to. I could go Coleman and take a third weapon from the Bills. And like I said, Josh Allen does like to alternate who's getting those touchdowns. But right here, I am taking my man, Big Ted Hurst from Georgia State. Big body, possession wide receiver who's going to jump up and high point that ball And Baker Mayfield is just going to love him. He's just going to be able to throw the ball downfield like the guy was. I'm not saying he's Mike Evans now, but Mike Evans is no longer there. And that was Baker's big-bodied guy that he could throw the ball downfield and let him go up and get it. Now, Mike Evans left. You think Baker Mayfield just doesn't like to do that anymore? Nah, come on. Of course he does. He wants to take chances. He wants to throw the ball up to his big guys, and he's going to throw that ball up to big Ted Hurst. I don't care if he went to Georgia State, a small college that I don't even think they're in a conference. But the dude, it doesn't matter. He wasn't just a regular fish. You know what I'm saying? He was a giant. He was a shark in a small pond. He ate all the fish in a small pond. He was a star of the game. I mean, even though Georgia State didn't have the greatest season, when they looked good, it was because of my man Ted Hurst. Okay, he is very similar to Malachi Fields. These two guys are big body possession wide receivers who I expect to just smash, to be safety options for their quarterbacks all year long. I mean, maybe not in the very beginning of the season. Maybe it takes a little bit of time to develop chemistry. By mid-season, you know, and when I say mid-season, I'm talking about best ball season, not NFL season. So, you know, mid best ball season is week 7, okay? And by week 7, these guys are going to be favorite options of their new quarterbacks. Now, 20th round. I mentioned earlier that I might consider taking a tight end if we still have one here worth taking. Let's see if there's anyone here. We'll queue him up and make the decision when we're on the clock. I don't love him. Musgrave's all right. Michael Mayer is okay. Dawson Knox is okay. He's got some competition from the rookie, but he's also all right. Looks like, I don't know. I don't love these guys. Might just take another wide receiver and make it a 9 wide receiver team. I'm taking, you know, I started out with 3 running backs. I took my 5th running back a little bit higher than I was expecting. Remember, I planned on it. I planned on taking where that 5th running back was going to go. I ended up taking him a little bit sooner than that. Let's just see if there are any rookies still sitting here that I have a real good. You know what? There's not. But I do like Tez Johnson. And even though I do not have Baker on this team, Tez Johnson is like the other guy, you know. Ted Hurst, I just think that because of his body size and his skill set that he's going to produce. How much? I'm not sure. How many spike weeks is he going to have? I'm not sure. How many weeks is he going to have with a touchdown? I'm not really sure. But Tez Johnson was a rookie last year. He made some unbelievable catches. He had a lot of competition in the wide receiver room, but he still produced certain weeks. I was taking him in the 20th round last year when he was a rookie. He's one of the rookies that I identified last year as a difference maker. And if you were able to get him in the 20th round last year, that he was more than worth taking in that position. Now, you guys didn't have me to tell you that last year, so I hope you made that choice on your own. If I was streaming these drafts, I would have told you. I would have identified him last year. I would have also identified Woody Marks and Ollie Gordon and a few other guys that you probably didn't know about before they had some spike weeks. I did know about them. I had them on my best ball teams, and I did pretty well. So let's just go over my team real quick. So we started out with triple running backs. We had Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Kyren Williams. Super strong, super high, consistent floor I should have in my 2 running back spots every week because of these guys. Now, they might have a bye week. They might have a down week. So we got Monangai and we got Tyrone Tracy to cover those. But we're really leaning on Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Kyren Williams. We hope that 2 of those 3 guys smash every week, all season long. And if they have a down week, it's a down week with like 12 points, not a down week under 10. You know what I'm saying? Then we got DJ Moore. We got Mike Evans, and we got Alec Pierce. These 2 guys are established veterans. DJ Moore and Mike Evans have done it before on other teams. They've proven themselves. They are badass alpha wide receivers in the NFL. I continue. They both have new quarterbacks who are talented, who are more than capable of getting them the ball. Alec Pierce just got a gigantic contract from the Colts that says that he is blatantly their new number 1 option for Daniel Jones. Solid pick. Tucker Kraft, Like I said, low-level elite tight end. I like him. He's gonna help raise the floor for my tight ends. Monungai, we just talked about. He's hopefully will just fill in when needed. Hopefully, I'm not relying on him a whole lot. Purdy, we got as part of this nice little San Francisco stack, because we also got McCaffrey, we got Evans, and then I took Stribling. So we got a nice little triple stack with Purdy. We got Kincaid because, Josh Allen likes Kincaid, and even though he's not the most consistent, he has some really solid weeks from time to time. Daniel Jones. I am high on Daniel Jones. People have been hating on this guy for years, and I've been telling them that they're crazy. They told me that I was wrong. I told everyone, if Daniel Jones went to a different team and he wasn't trying to throw behind that Giants O-line, and he had some weapons over there for the Giants, this guy would be a real good player. He's got all the tools. He's tall. He's fast. He can throw a mile. What's wrong with this guy? You just don't like him because he looks goofy? Who cares if he looks goofy? The guy gets the job done, all right? And now that he's got a little bit of protection and some weapons to work with in Indianapolis, the dude is a beast. Don't look now, but he was basically quarterback one for the majority of the year last year before he got hurt. Okay, Tyrone Tracy. The Giants have really improved that offensive line since Daniel Jones was there. The Giants plan on running a lot. They're going to be in a lot of big sets with multiple tight ends. Cam Scatterbo might get a little bit more of the workload, but Tyrone Tracy still projects to get almost just as much, if not just as much. And, he used to be a wide receiver in college. He can catch the ball. He's a solid extra little option there at running back. Denzel Boston is just a huge freak of nature. I loved him in college. I loved him pre-draft. I wish he went to a little bit of a better situation, but I think that this guy's just good enough it doesn't even matter who's throwing the ball. He's going to be open. He's big. He's going to physically overpower most of the defenders. They're not going to be able to stop him from just grabbing it. Stribling, like I said, the 49ers like him a lot. They took him with the 33rd overall pick. I mean, it's basically obviously it's the first pick in the second round, but it might as well be a first round pick. The pay is lower. But it was only one pick away from the first round. Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy Bernard might be my least confident pick on this whole team, but he's one of those guys to where if he has a big season, not a lot of people are expecting it. He's not going to be super low, or he's not going to be super high owned, especially if I can squeeze this team into the playoffs. If I can squeeze this team into the playoffs and he's low owned in week 16 and week 17, and then I can get lucky and he smashes there, that's a situation where a guy like this could be the one who wins you the big money, okay? Malachi Fields, I already explained a little bit about this guy, but he is a big body receiver out of Notre Dame. He played for Virginia before that, and his tape at Virginia looks just as good, if not even better. This guy can play in multiple offenses. He can run multiple routes. He's huge. He can overpower you. Jackson Dart is going to love him some Fields. Penix was kind of just a flyer. I needed a third quarterback just to cover in case these guys end up with the same bye week. I do expect him to start in Atlanta more games than Tua, if not every game. Hurst, another big body receiver. Baker Mayfield is just going to love him. Tez Johnson already played with Baker Mayfield last year. They started to build a nice little chemistry, and I expect that to grow just a little bit more. I think it's safe to say that we have another team that is very likely to advance to the playoffs. If you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to the channel, come back, watch a bunch more videos, tune in your best ball strategy so you can take home a big prize, so you can win $100,000 this year, so you can win a $3 million first prize in the Millionaire Maker, or a $2 million second prize, or a $1 million third prize. That's ridiculous. The prize scale is out of control. This is a great year for best ball. Hop in now. Dial in that strategy, win big money. I'll see you for the next video. All right, guys, have a good one.